Chutzpah, this word is a Yiddish word. Its root is Aramaic. The Jew, they use this word, chutzpah. Okay, chutzpah. And the spelling of it is very different than the way it sounds. Chutzpah basically means someone who is extremely brave. Now, before I mention further, I just want to let you know that this video, I'll talk about the Mamluks, whether they will come before the Mahdi, after the Mahdi, and whether they will be a sign of the Mahdi. So we'll be talking about that. This word, chutzpah, means someone who is extremely brave. He is so brave that he does not care about any repercussion. He does not care what will happen, what people will think. A person, according to the psychologist, who is a chutzpah, will take any action, will go and resort to anything without fearing anyone, without even caring about the backlash that might ensue. So this chutzpah is a group of people who are extremely self-confident and very, very courageous. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentioned that a group of men will appear when the fierce battle, the malhama, will take place. And he mentioned this hadith in Sunan Ibn Majah, Hasan hadith, narrated by Abu Huraira radiyallahu anh. He talked about this, if you like, chutzpah of Islam. This group of people will appear who will be extremely, extremely courageous, who would not fear any enemy. Even if their number is very small, they can take on huge number of military personnels. They can go to battles without any fear. إذا وقعت الملاحم بعث الله بعث من الموالهم أكرم الأعراب فرسا وأجواده سلاحا يؤيد الله بهم الدين. Allah Azza wa Jal will send a troop, a group of chutzpah that we just talked about, who will come on the occasion of the fierce battle. They will have the best horse, they are the best horsemen, and they are the best armed, and Allah will give victory to the Muslims through them. The MAMLUK, some people might argue, this group of people, they are called MAMLUK. MAMLUK came from the Arabic word malak, means someone who is possessed. So basically they are slaves. These slave are freed slave, and from what I understand, they will come from the place Khorasan. Right now, if you take a look at the world history, the only place looks like that could never be conquered was the Khorasan. The Russian, former Soviet Union, they tried to take over Khorasan. The British, when they were in power, they were the superpower of the time. They tried to take over Khorasan, they failed. Now, United States of America, they are failing almost every day to make any ground in Khorasan. According to the Mufassirin of the Quran and according to some of the ulama, they said the Khorasan is basically consisted of northern part of Iran, but mainly it's the Afghan region, the northern Afghan. So the point here is that the Mamluk, in English they are also called Mamluk. It even make into the English dictionary. This group will appear, they will come, who Allah will give victory through to the Muslims. Now the Mamluk, they were dominant from the 9th to 19th century. They were gone in the late 18th century. We did not find any trace. Now if you take a look at the hadith that I just mentioned to you, one thing it is very clear that these Mamluks, these Hutzpah, brave, courageous Muslims, freed slaves, will have horses. When I say that the Mamluk will be coming from the place Khorasan, and they will have horses and they will be armed, what indicates to us, it means that this group of people will have with them not tanks, not fighter jets, not machine guns. Rather, they will have horses, swords, and they will be well armed. It clearly indicates, dear sisters, the Mamluks, they will come after the Mahdi. Now the question is this going to be happening very soon? What is going on? The Mamluks have history in the Islamic world. I want to give you one example of their bravery. The Mamluk that came before us in the 16th century, you have no idea how courageous they were. They took on entire French military all by themselves, and they defeated them in the place of Egypt, close to the place of the country Egypt. The Mamluks are so dangerous that if they come, then the enemy stands no chance. They existed during the time of the Ottoman Empire, but in the late 1800th century, we could not find their trace. They are mostly of Turkic or Caucasian ethnicity, the Mamluks. Very powerful, they are warrior and enslaved people. In other words, you can say, well, this group of people, brother, they already came before us. Isn't it the case? I would say yes, but because the hadith talks about this group of people will come during the fierce battle, it will happen again. The miracle of this hadith, dear brothers and sisters, is that this hadith is not or cannot be used just for one era. It is used and can be used for the end of time as well. Not just what happened in the past, but also what will happen in the future. So, dear brothers and sisters, the point here I'm trying to make is that Allah Azza wa Jal will send the Mahdi, but the Mahdi, even though will not be able to have these Mamluks that these hadith is talking about, nevertheless the Mahdi will have people who are very, very courageous. The one I just mentioned, Hutzpah. If you want to be in the army of the Mahdi, if any one of us, we want to give victory to the religion of Allah Azza wa Jal, then we will have no choice but to become brave in fighting oppression, fighting fasad, corruption on land. If you do not have that courage, you will not be able to stand up for the Mahdi. So we have to be strong as Ummah, as Muslims, because these qualities will help us in the future a lot. I hope that inshallah this video will give you some idea who the Mamluks are, whether they will come before or after the coming of the Mahdi, and inshallah I hope this will benefit all of us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.